Tim, just give us an understanding. What is spasmodic dysphonia? And then tell us about how you actually got spasmodic dysphonia.
Okay, well, spasmodic dysphonia is a condition in which it affects your vocal cords as far as the ability. Well, you have most people have a strangulation. I know there's some have a condition where the vocal cords want to stay open, and they have a breathy type voice, and they have a hard time talking. Others have a strangulation type problem, and that was mine. And most of the people that I talk to deal with that strangled voice, and so.
Can you give us a quick example of what that sounds like or what that looks like?
Sure.
I know you do well with that.
Something that I usually tell people to do is, exhale all the air out of your lungs, is get rid of as much as you can. And as soon as you get rid of all your air, now count out loud to 20. Go ahead, show them how to do that, Jason. Blow all your air out and then count to 20.
All right, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't get to 20. I can barely get to 6.
And that was perfect as far as what many people sound like who are struggling with this disorder. Now, we don't realize that we're not breathing. And what everyone just witnessed was you trying to talk without any airflow. And I know that when I was told, well, the problem is you're not breathing. Well, yeah, you're breathing. And I said, well, I am. Watch this. And I take a deep breath. And then I'd still 1, 2. And when I finished trying to talk, I'd exhale. And I didn't realize I was doing that. I was holding my breath.
Right.
And so people with spasmodic dysphonia, they tend to become experts at talking without airflow. And they never, you never overcome it trying to talk like that. When I say an expert, that just means we're making a noise better than most people that could under those conditions. But if you don't have, it's like Dr. Cooper used to tell me, a car can't run without gas, and we can't talk without airflow. And so when that air's not flowing, it's strangled right there, and you're not going to be able to make any vocal noises. Now you want me to explain the humming or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to lead you to that. I think what really helps to connect people with us and what we're talking about. Everyone has a story, and you mentioned early about some debilitating emotional things that actually transpired that we're going to touch on in a second. But tell me about how this happened. Like, people out there listening, they might know somebody, they might have maybe they have spasmodic dysphonia, but how did yours start? Like, what happened? Did it happen abruptly? Did it happen gradually? What happened?
I've never met anybody that said they woke up and they had it. It was just something that they either developed laryngitis or they had a cold. They were sick in some way, and then their voice deteriorated and it didn't get better. In my case, it was very gradual, because I'd be on the telephone and be speaking to someone, and certain words, certain sounds that I needed to make would just get stuck in my throat. And I get off the phone, I'd tell my wife, I said, that was weird. My allergies must be acting up, but and it was, I mean, it took over the next 3 years or 4 years, it continued to get worse until finally I went to a ear, nose, throat doctor, and he told me I had nodules on my vocal cords, which,
okay.
He looked in there and saw them, said, yes, you've got them. And I thought, okay, we can fix this. And he said, no talking, no talking, rest your voice. So I did that for, I forgot how long he told me to. I went back, he said, nodules are gone. but
Mm-hmm.
my voice had not returned, and
Right.
he was kind of like, well, it'll take time, but it'll happen. Well, it didn't.
Okay. Um, so when you did the physical thing as far as listening to him and you rested and went back and they did an examination, there was no nodules, so you looked pretty healthy to him. Did you use him again? Did you say, hey, I'm still not fixed, or did you seek for a second opinion? What happened?
Well, I was in another town visiting when I went to that doctor. It just happened to be a friend of mine was a doctor. I told him I was having trouble, and he said, "Well, let me set you up with my buddy." And so I went to see this fella. He was in Little Rock, and I lived in Austin at the time. So
Right.
I got back to Austin, and that's when I set up another appointment. And that ear, nose, throat doctor, I mean, within 30 seconds of walking in the room and hearing me talk, he goes, "Well, I know what's wrong
Yeah.
with you. You got spasmodic dysphonia,